Hello, what's up everybody? I thought it was about time to give you guys an update about what the Pawpetshow team is up to these days. First of all, I'd like to thank all of our patrons for their most generous support during these difficult times. We feel we owe you a lot more content than you've been getting from us right now, and yet you're all still there, helping us out every month, and for that, I wish to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Unfortunately, there is not a lot to write home about right now. At the beginning of the year, there was still hope that we might pick up our bi-weekly script writing meetings for the new show, but then the third corona wave happened and the situation for us got much, much worse. Travel restrictions, curfews, and the highest infection rate Germany ever had seen, and sadly that meant that meetings in person were absolutely no longer a thing. And to be honest, I've also had a pretty tough time regarding my own mental health, and that's not a very good place to be in for any kind of creative endeavor. But that doesn't mean we're all just sitting lazily on our asses, twiddling our thumbs. So let me give you a little overview where we are in terms of the new show, what happened to the missing chapters of The Making of Demon Hunters, and a little preview of what you can expect from us for the upcoming issue of Your Freunds Online later this year. So yes, the new show is still a thing, and we're still working on it. If you've caught our little reveal a few weeks ago, then you might already know that the title of the show is The Signal, and that it probably has something to do with snow or cold or winter. But what does it all mean? Well, The Signal is a fantasy science fiction story in a post-apocalyptic world in which sentient animals are the only survivors, and all that's left of human civilization are ruins and weird artifacts. And if that sounds familiar to you, that's not a coincidence, because we are going to return to a universe we haven't visited for a while. The post-apocalyptic researchers have reconstructed human machinery to the point where they can build simple shortwave radio receivers, and they discover that the airwaves aren't as silent as they thought. They are receiving strange signals from all over the world, and they wonder if maybe, just maybe, could there still be humans who have survived the thermonuclear apocalypse? The strongest signal, a sort of call sign or number station, is located far in the north, in the land of ice, snow, and never-ending nights. An expedition of daring adventurers heads out to discover the source of the signal. But what they find is not what they expected. And well, that's all I'm going to tell you for now, because of course we want to keep you on the edge of your seat for what's exactly going to happen in that story, but I think you're going to be in for a treat. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about where we're standing in the production and what's going to happen next. The Signal is still in a pretty early stage. We've managed to write about half of the dialogues. That means, as you can see here, we currently have 6 scenes in total. And after that, we have decided that our view on the story has changed so much that we have to do a major revision. We have sat down the last time we could meet in person and wrote a pretty long document that I'm not going to click on because otherwise I would spoil the story for you. But we've pretty much sketched out the entire story from beginning to end now. And to make this work, we have to go through all the scenes and basically rewrite a lot of them. And we've come to the conclusion that this is something that is simply no fun to do in a video conference. So we've pushed this ahead to the point where we can meet again in person, me and Icefox, and work on an entire weekend, day and night on this stuff and get it ready. There's a little bit light at the end of the tunnel. I've already got my shot, my first one. I'm going to get my second shot sometime in the middle of July. And if Icefox is lucky, he might get vaccinated soon too. So yeah, we hope we can pick this up before the end of the year. We've also started working on the puppets. But again, since some in-person collaboration is currently nearly impossible, the only puppet work that can be done is if people do it at home alone. And yeah, that's also not very fun, and it just takes very, very long time. Theo has worked on this very nice polar bear. That's going to be one of the most important characters of the show. Some really nice photos in the snow there. In the show, he'll probably have a little less modern clothes. And this is also one of the main characters. His name is Marconi. And here's Haku, the builder of the puppet, and my co-writer, Icefox, together with Marconi on the couch during the last scriptwriting meeting we had. And he's also trying out a couple of costumes that make him look like an adventurer or a researcher. Oh yeah, and then there's going to be possums. Yes, a possum, and the other is a stunt possum. Then let's go on. Before we are starting with concept artwork, we are putting together a so-called mood board. And a mood board is basically a collection of reference images that we are collecting from all over the place in the net to collect ideas and get the artist a general idea of what we are going for, what kind of characters we're looking for, or what kind of colors we're looking for in terms of the locations and the backdrops. Some reference material, of course, of snowy things and, well, underground researchy things, costumes, and tents and monsters and things, and well, you get the idea. And this has currently 20 pages and is supposed to have like a news slide for every scene that we write. And that's going to help our artists get started with the backdrops and more concept artwork. Okay, and now here's the next topic I would like to talk about in this video, and that's what happened to the missing episodes of The Making of Demon Hunters. I finally got to post the first part of that at the beginning of the year. However, it's been a couple of months, and since, well, that certainly isn't anything that needs a lot of collaboration in person, and I should theoretically have all the footage to do it, why isn't it happening? Well, mainly two reasons. First reason is that I've already spent a lot of time with this material during our preparation for the talks we did for Your Friends Online last year, so I'm a little bit tired out on that topic right now. And the second reason is we are trying to get Juno Rising ready for release at Your Friends Online this year. And you might ask yourself, well, what the hell is so much work about getting a video ready for release? You've already streamed it online. Can't you just replay the stream? Well, the answer is we could. Well, that would not make you very happy. If you take the soundtrack and just the video that was filmed in a big room with 1,000 people, and you take just that and play that back on YouTube, it's going to suck. Let me demonstrate for you what that actually means. So the good news is that almost all of the video work is already done. That means our Pawpetshow video team, consisting of Zuran, Tendermuzzle, and everyone else, has done a lot of work already. And unfortunately, I can't tell you a lot of that process because I'm not the video guy, I'm the sound guy. So at this point, the only thing I can say is, well, thanks for the great work. The only thing I can tell you something about, that is the sound. Let me take you on a little trip through Your Friends' Pawpetshow sound production to make clear why the heck this is such a big deal. Currently, I'm about 25% done with the sound production. And let me very quickly change the perspective here. Just for a little demonstration, what you're going to hear now, is the sound as it went live over the loudspeakers in the room and how it was streamed. And you will notice a couple of things that you probably didn't notice when you saw this live. But let's give this a listen.
So fast. Why not? Because I say so.
Computer, Blackness turned wicked for access!
Affirmative.
Shoot me, and you will die a very lonely death
So you
on
can
the
hear
ship.
there's
Put your
almost
days
no
down,
music.
and we can talk.
Holy shit, you've
The
got your
voices
wits
are
together,
very,
girl.
very low
You did all
at
this.
the
Am I
soft
right?
moments.
You
Shut
killed the
up
crew.
or else.
And everything's
Or
like
else
getting
what?
distorted and clipping at the
Without
loud
me,
moments.
You're not going to get the ship
And
anywhere.
there's quite a noticeable hum in the
Neither are
background.
you, because, well, I've got the key card.
So in all, not terrible, but also not very good. And that's also why always when we play the Pawpetshow, we are not just making a 2-channel recording from the loudspeakers. What we do is actually something like this. So what you see here, this is what the recording of a Pawpetshow looks like in its raw form. That's what I start out with when I want to redo the soundtrack. We have a recording that starts here on the left and goes on here to the right, and the complete length of this is about 5 hours. So we have 5 hours of material recorded. The first tracks that you can see here are all the different microphone tracks. So all the actors have been recorded separately. Then there's the sound effects that have been recorded the way I played them. There's ambient sounds. There is 2 tracks for the music. But the big problem is you have a lot of raw stuff here. And if you don't spend a lot of time cleaning it up, this is what's going to happen.
Das Problem ist,
This is weird.
bis zur nächsten
What
Szene
is weird?
müssen wir das irgendwie versuchen.
The ship is on
Ich guck mal, ob wir ihn
standby.
finden
Everything
irgendwie.
is properly shut down.
So
Maybe
you can hear people talking over each other.
a sign of an emergency.
Can we turn it back off?
Because some actors aren't even on stage right now, but they're backstage and their microphones are on because they have something to say later in the scene.
This is the captain speaking. Unlock the controls.
Correction unable.
So you can hear a lot of rumbling and breathing, and you don't realize this during the live performance. It's live, it's loud. You don't care about noises in the background, but if you're sitting at home on the sofa and watching this on the screen, you expect some better quality than that.
On this ship. Put your days down, and we can talk.
Again, more breathing and rumbling and almost no music.
Shut up or else.
Or else what? Without me, you're not going to get the ship anywhere.
If one person speaks, what this person says is also picked up by all the other microphones. This is Curry's channel, who is speaking Trent Bicken, and just listen to what's on his recording.
And we're going to get over there. Well, the flight crew's still here. I'll see what they have.
So that's the one thing he says in a couple of minutes, and between his lines, there's all this just audio on his track that we don't need, and that will only make everything else worse. What I'd like to show you now is what we're doing with this solid block of audio and how it looks after we've started cleaning it up. So this is the entire show. And as you can see, we've cut almost everything out of it. And all we're left with are these little blocks of actually Curry saying his lines, and everything in the middle has been eliminated. And that's what we do for every single microphone track and every single sound effect track. And that is the part that takes such a damn long time. As a result, the whole thing will sound a lot better. Remember how it sounded the first time, so let's hear the Finnish version of this.
This is weird.
What is weird?
The ship is on standby, everything is properly shut down. Main reactors off, critical system are on backup power. There is no sign of an emergency.
Can we turn it back on?
Let me see. Nope, controls are locked.
Computer, this is the captain speaking.
There's other issues too, because sometimes during the live performance, we often have timing problems. Like sometimes something that was scripted to take a couple of seconds takes a couple of seconds more, and the prepared audio tracks like the music might run out before a certain event is happening on stage. Pay special attention to the music. That's going to happen at the very end of the scene.
Mr. Sorenjax, energize!
So this is when the pre-recorded music starts. But then the audience suddenly likes that joke a lot more than we thought they would.
This is not how any of this works, okay?
Lighten up!
And the music is running, the music is running.
Full pilots and navigation rights to Mr. Sorenjax.
Thank you. Now, fasten your seatbelts, everyone. This is going to be a high G burn. Stand by for acceleration in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the music's already gone. And, well, that's how it sounds in the fixed version.
Mr. Sorenjax, energize!
This is not how any of this works, okay?
Lighten up, it was a joke. Computer, grant full pilots and navigation rights to Mr. Sorenjax.
Affirmative.
Thank you. Now, fasten your seatbelts, everyone. This is going to be a high G burn. Stand by for acceleration in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now the music is where it belongs. Other than cleaning up and repairing glitches and timing errors, I then also have to adjust all the levels so that both the soft and the loud parts of the dialogue sound good, make sure the music is present but not overpowering, add all kinds of sound effects back in until it all sounds appropriate and natural. Alright, as you can see, sound stuff is my personal thing, and I hope that was at least a little bit interesting to you. Also, a shout out to Fuchs, a furry friend who was a very big help in getting the first cleanup pass done. Thanks a lot. Now, I've saved the best for last, and that is that we are remastering all the animated content for the opening titles and the scene changes. During the original production, we pretty much ran out of time and ended up with a result that, in some cases, looked a lot less nice than we had originally envisioned. But now that we have the time, Rangerik decided to go back into the project and finally apply that last bit of polish that was missing. Here's a little preview of his work in progress. And with that, I'd like to say thanks for watching, goodbye, and stay healthy.
all do we have left? Come over the remnants, the way I used to turn. What all were we looking for? What did we hope to find besides just pain and dust? No sentence yet I'm serving. It's much too.
We still see them speeding off and always moving.
As I see the Juno rise into my orbit, I think of all that I had.